Imagine this. You're surrounded by some of the most attractive people in school. Everyone is flirting, obsessing, chasing relationships, but there's one guy who feels nothing, no desperation, no distraction, no lust controlling his decisions, and because of that, he's always 10 steps ahead of everyone. That person is Ayanokoji. But here's the crazy part most people miss. Ayanokoji's control over lust isn't just a personality trait, it's a psychological weapon. And if you understand how he does it, you can apply the same mental framework to become more focused, disciplined, and almost impossible to manipulate. Today we're breaking down why Ayanokoji never lusts, the hidden psychology behind it, and 3 methods you can use to develop the same control. Because once you understand this, you'll start seeing how most people are completely controlled by their impulses. Let's start with a simple truth. Most people believe they make logical decisions, but in reality, they're controlled by 3 basic impulses. Status, pleasure, validation, and lust sits right at the center of all 3. Think about it. People change their behavior, personality, priorities, even their goals, just to impress someone they're attracted to. Students in classroom of the elite do it constantly. They reveal secrets, they make bad alliances, they betray people, all because of emotional attachment and attraction. But Ayanokoji never falls into that trap. Why? Because he understands something most people don't. Desire creates vulnerability, and vulnerability creates control points. If someone knows what you want, they can control you. People think Ayanokoji wins because he's smart, but intelligence alone isn't his biggest weapon. His real advantage is emotional detachment. When everyone else is reacting emotionally, he's observing. When everyone else is chasing attraction, he's analyzing. When everyone else is distracted, he's calculating. This creates a huge psychological gap. Imagine playing chess with someone, but every time you move a piece, they suddenly get distracted by their phone. That's basically what happens in the series. Everyone else is playing chess while distracted by emotions. Ayanokoji is the only one fully focused on the board. Why Ayanokoji doesn't feel lust? This part is deeper than people realize. It's not just discipline, it's conditioning. Ayanokoji grew up in the White Room, a place designed to remove emotional weakness. From childhood he was trained to suppress impulses, ignore emotional distractions, focus only on results. Over time his brain learned something powerful. Pleasure is temporary, control is permanent. So instead of chasing attraction, he prioritizes power, strategy, and positioning. And because he doesn't chase people, people become curious about him, which ironically makes him more attractive. This is the paradox. The less you seek validation, the more powerful your presence becomes. Here's the thing most people get wrong. They think controlling lust means suppressing it. It's all about willpower, they say. Wrong. Ayanokoji doesn't fight lust. He redirects attention. Think about it. When you try to force yourself not to think about something, your brain double thinks it. That's why telling yourself don't lust only makes you notice it more. Ayanokoji's method is simple but brutal. He obsesses over what matters more than desire, strategy, long-term goals. Reading people like a chessboard. He treats lust like a temporary data point, not a command. And when your brain's mission is bigger than instant gratification, small impulses lose all their power. Here's something important. Modern environments are designed to amplify impulses. Social media constantly feeds you stimulation. Endless scrolling, endless validation loops, endless images engineered to trigger attraction. Your brain is bombarded with dopamine triggers all day. This makes self-control harder than ever before. But Ayanokoji lives differently. His environment is simple, quiet, minimal, which naturally makes emotional regulation easier. The modern world trains people to be reactive. Ayanokoji trains himself to be observant. And that difference changes everything. Here's something most people never realize. Throughout history, lust has been one of the easiest ways to control human behavior. Think about it. People have leaked secrets, destroyed reputations, betrayed friends, ruined careers, all because of attraction. Why? Because lust temporarily overrides rational thinking. Your brain releases dopamine, which pushes you to chase pleasure right now, not think about consequences. But Kiyotaka Ayanokoji understands something important. If someone can control your desires, they can control your decisions. That's why he never allows lust to control him. There's a big difference most people ignore. Attraction is natural, but lust is impulsive. Attraction can exist while you're calm and logical. Lust pushes you to act immediately. It says, text them now, impress them now, chase them now. And that urgency is where people lose control. But Ayanokoji removes the urgency. He slows everything down, which gives him something powerful, clarity. Lust isn't just emotional, it's neurological. When lust activates in your brain, 3 things happen. Your focus narrows, your long-term thinking weakens, your decision-making becomes impulsive. This is why people make terrible choices when they're emotionally attracted to someone. But Ayanokoji's mind is trained to delay impulses. Instead of reacting instantly, he pauses, and that pause gives him control. If you look at highly disciplined individuals throughout history, you'll notice a pattern. Many of them controlled their impulses very strictly, not because attraction is evil, but because uncontrolled desire leads to predictable behavior, and predictable behavior can be manipulated. That's why Ayanokoji stays emotionally neutral, not because he's incapable of attraction, but because he refuses to be predictable. Here's the deeper truth. Lust makes people seek approval. When someone is strongly attracted to another person, they start doing things like changing their personality, seeking validation, trying to impress them. This shifts the power dynamic. The person who needs validation loses control, but Ayanokoji never seeks approval, which means nobody can manipulate him emotionally. Self-control works like a muscle. Every time you resist an impulse, your brain strengthens its control system. Psychologists call this delayed gratification, the ability to ignore short-term pleasure for long-term benefits. This is exactly how Ayanokoji operates. He doesn't chase pleasure, he focuses on outcomes. When you remove lust from your decision-making, something powerful happens. Your mind becomes quieter, you think more clearly. You notice things others miss. This is why Ayanokoji often sees strategies that others overlook, because while everyone else is distracted, he's fully present. How you can develop the same control. You don't need the white room to develop Ayanokoji level discipline, but you do need structure. Here are 3 methods. Method 1, build a mission bigger than pleasure. The strongest defense against distraction is purpose. If your only goals are comfort and entertainment, your brain will chase pleasure constantly. But if you're building something meaningful, a career, a business, a skill, a long-term vision, your brain starts prioritizing progress over pleasure. Ayanokoji always operates with an objective. That's why he rarely wastes mental energy on attraction. Method 2, reduce stimulus. Modern life is engineered to trigger lust constantly. Social media, ads, endless scrolling. Everywhere you look, there's something trying to capture your attention. Ayanokoji lives differently. His environment is simple, minimal distractions, minimal noise. If you reduce stimulation, your brain naturally becomes calmer and more focused. Method 3, master observation. Instead of reaction. This is the most powerful technique. Instead of reacting to attraction immediately, observe the feeling. Notice it, don't fight it. Just watch it like a passing thought. Within seconds, it loses intensity. Ayanokoji does this constantly. He treats emotions like data, not commands. And once you learn this skill, you stop being controlled by impulses. At the end of the day, Ayanokoji teaches one powerful lesson. Your biggest weakness isn't lack of intelligence. It's lack of control over your impulses. Most people spend their lives reacting to attraction, reacting to emotions, reacting to distractions. But the moment you learn to observe instead of react, you gain an advantage most people never develop. And that's the real reason Ayanokoji is always ahead. Not because he's superhuman, but because he mastered the one skill most people ignore. Control over himself. If you're working on becoming someone who doesn't fold under temptation, someone who controls their impulses instead of being controlled by them, hit subscribe.